This is Barnestorm training for the task of creating a verbal order in point of care. In this session, we will cover selecting a patient, reviewing some of the features in the order screen, and creating different types of orders. To enter an order, first you will need to select a patient. You can do this by entering the patient's first 3 digits of its last name. You can also type in the first name or a 6-digit chart number, or you can even click on My Patients and select a patient from there. If you enter in the patient's last name, a list of patients will appear in the window. You can go ahead and select on your patient, and the patient's information who was selected will appear in the box at the top of the screen. This is a good time to double check that you have selected the correct patient. From here, you want to go ahead and click on the Orders tab on the main menu. And when you first open the order screen, you will notice 3 different sections. The top section here is the area you add and edit text that is entered into an order. The lower left pane is where pending orders are listed. The lower right pane is where the finished verbal order is saved after the order information is complete. At the top of the screen, you will see the order date. The default date will be today's date. If you need to change it, you can manually type in a new date, or you can select the drop-down calendar and select a date from here. Your agency defines how far you can backdate your orders. If you receive a message stating that the order is older than the allowed age, you will need to contact your Barnestorm administrator in your office and notify them of the date conflict. Your office will need to make changes in your agency's global settings as needed. Next is the default doctor, right here. And this is the primary physician from the referral screen. If the order is for a different doctor, you can change the name by entering the doctor's 4-digit code if you know it. Or you can search for the doctor by entering the last 3 digits of their last name in the search field. You will notice that all Barnestorm's search fields work the same. The smaller field to the left is used to enter a code. The larger field on the right is used to enter a description of what you are looking for. The Show Doctors tab above the name here is a collection of doctors associated with the patient you have selected. The doctors included in the list will be the primary physician, the consulting physicians from the referral screen, also any physicians that have been entered into an order as an ordering physician for the patient's chart number. To make the list disappear, you can go ahead and click on the Show Doctors button again. Next, we have the Type drop-down list here, which is optional. The items from the drop-down list serve 2 different purposes. The first 6 items will add the text of the order to the assessment screen it is identified with. An example would be if you were to select the labs from the drop-down list and enter lab orders, those orders will show up in the assessment on the lab screen. Same as the wound, injections, feeding, DME, and supplies. We'll go over some examples later in this video. The rest of the options will add specific text to your order depending on which one is selected. Once again, the type option is optional. We also have a few shortcut buttons here at the top of the screen. The Show Wounds History button will show you a brief description of the most recent wound assessment information. along with the date of the assessment. This information comes from the Wound Assess screen within your visit assessment. Click on the Show Wounds History button again to make the box disappear. The View Open Orders button, located here, will pull up pending orders for the doctor that is pulled up right here on your screen. So if this doctor has more than one patient, their pending orders will show up as well. As you can see here, this is our patient that we have pulled up, and this patient here also has this doctor. So you can see all of this doctor's pending orders. Just select a pending order to view the order text. You will notice that the entire order will appear. To return back to the list of pending orders, click anywhere in the field. Click on the View Open Orders button to make the list disappear. Next, click on the Go to ICD History button. This will open the ICD History screen where you can add and edit the patient's ICD codes. We will not go over the steps in this video. Please see the training video adding a new ICD code on how to use this screen. And then you can go ahead and close it out. We also have a shortcut to the medication history screen by clicking the Go to Med History. And this will bring up your med history screen. You can also watch the training video for adding a new medicine with full details on how to use this screen. Let's create a few different types of orders. First, we will create a simple order. No matter the type of order you are creating, you can always freehand type the text in the order field here. We will now request an order for labs for PT INR on a patient. Let's say we call the doctor's office to leave a message asking for an order for labs. We'll go ahead and type in the information we called with. Now I'm going to use this date and time stamp feature here, the left message button. When you click on this, it will fill in the date and time you clicked on the button with your name and the doctor's name, stating that you left a message for the doctor. Just fill in the name of the person that you spoke with. What we want to do now is save the order as a pending order until we receive a call back from the doctor's office to confirm the order. Click on the Save as Pending Order button. You will notice that the top section resets and the pending order is saved at the bottom. Anything in this section of the screen is not considered a verbal order yet. These are here because you are waiting to hear back from the doctor or need to add additional information. We are now going to pause for a moment and go over different ways to pull up pending orders. From this order screen, you can click on the View Open Orders button at the top to view all pending orders for this doctor. And as you can see here, our order we just created is right here. As needed, you can click on a pending order to view the full text. The list of pending orders is not just for the patient you have selected. It is for all patients that have orders from the doctor selected. Click anywhere in the pending order to make this screen disappear, and then click on the View Open Orders button again to make the list of pending orders disappear. The other way is to exit the order screen and select the Select Patient tab on the main menu. And then you can click on the Pending Orders button over on the right, and you can view the pending orders that you have entered. This is a good practice to make sure you don't miss changing pending orders into verbal orders. You can select a pending order from this screen to view the text. And you can clearly see that this is a pending order, at the top of the screen, it reads, "This is a pending order, do not mail." You are able to review the doctor's information, the patient's information, and the order. Pending orders do not have a place for the doctor to sign, and will read, "This is a pending order for Dr. Doss." This part will change after the pending order is turned into a verbal order. Let's click on the Close button to exit this pending order preview. You can also pull up pending orders for patients that you case manage. Click on the bullet, "My Patients Not by Me," and then click on the Pending Orders button. The list of pending orders will regenerate to only include pending orders that other employees have created for your patients. When you are ready to complete the order, you can go back to the order screen for the patient with the pending order. So let's go ahead and click on the Orders tab on the main menu. And from here you can select the pending order and click on Edit Order button. Your order information will appear back at the top of the screen. And let's say the doctor called back to confirm the order. Now you can click on the button Received Order to add a date and time stamp. The time can be changed manually if needed. Next, you will type in the name of the person you spoke with. Now we're going to use the text item box to insert text into the order. This way you can save time and data entry errors. It's also a way to make sure you are adding all the information that is needed for certain orders without leaving out details. Click on the text item icon. Whenever you see this icon in Barnestorm, it allows you to insert text into the field the icon shows up in. Most agencies have hundreds of text items. There are several ways to narrow down your search. We'll go over a few ways. You can scroll through the list of codes like this, then click on the text you want to insert. As soon as you select a code, it will automatically insert into the order, like this. Let's click on the text item box again. If your agency assigns categories to each text item, you can narrow down your search by clicking on the category drop-down list and select a topic. Let's click on medications. Let's go back to our full list of text by clicking on Show All. You can also select multiple codes at once. Click on the box at the top here for multiple select. Then you can click items you want to insert into the order. You can see that the items are highlighted lightly. If you select an item by mistake, just click on it again and it will take it off the list of items to insert. Once you have selected the items, you can click on the button here, Insert Selected Items. And you can see that a few items have shown up. Let's click on the text items icon again. Another way to select items is by searching for a word that is inside the text. Click inside the search field here and start typing your word. Since there is only one text item that includes what I searched for, it automatically appeared in my order. If there were multiple items with that word in it, a list would appear and you can select the correct one to be inserted in the order. If the text that is inserted includes an underline, this usually means that something needs to be typed in to replace the line. Barnestorm will highlight that field to alert you to replace the line with something else. If the underline is still highlighted, you can start to type the replacement word and it will insert it for you. Now that you have entered all the information for this order, You can save it into the pending orders, again by clicking on the Save as Pending Order button, and it will appear back down here. There are 3 different options to choose from. The Create Order button is to be used when you have created an order that needs to be mailed to a doctor for a signature and needs to be returned to your office. The Create Order has a place for both the clinician and the doctor to sign. The Create Verbal Order FYI button, right here, is to be used when you do not need to mail the order for the doctor signature. An example of this would be when your office has received a fax copy or original order with the doctor's signature already. The FYI order does not have a place for the doctor to sign, but does include a place for the clinician to sign. The No Verbal Order Needed button is used when the information you are entering is not an actual order, but shows information about the patient's record. These do not show up on the bottom right of the screen. They do not have a place for a clinician or a doctor to sign. For an example of when to use this is when you have an initial referral and you want to show the referral date and information on the referral printout. Consult with your supervisor on when to use this feature. The No Verbal Order Needed will show up when you click on this button, Show Verbal Orders Not Needed. We are going to turn this pending order into an actual order that needs to be sent to the doctor to sign. Click on the pending order and then click on the Create Order button. A preview of the verbal order will generate. You will see at the top it states that it is a physician's supplemental order. The order number will be generated as well. The order number is going to start with your 4 digits Barnestorm employee number, 0002. The last 5 digits will generate in a sequential order. So if this is your first time creating an order, it will start with your 4-digit Barnestorm employee number, followed by 00001. The next order you create will end up with 00002, and so on. Here you can see the doctor's information and the patient's information, followed by the order text. At the bottom of the page, you will find a place for the clinician and doctor to sign and date the order. Depending on your agency setup, you will either have a blank line for the clinician to sign a paper printout, or the electronic signature will appear. Depending on your agency's procedure, you may need to print the order. To do so, click on the printer icon at the top of the page, and it will print out on the default printer that your machine is connected to. Click on the Close button to exit the order preview. You'll notice that the order now shows up in the bottom right corner of the screen. This is where the Create Order and Create Verbal Order FYIs will show up. By default, it only shows the current user's orders. To view all orders created for this patient, you will need to click on the Show All button. If you need to edit the order you just created, select it from the right side and click on the Edit button. Make your changes here as needed and then click on the Save button. The Copy button here at the bottom will allow you to copy the text within the order to your machine's clipboard. This will allow you to paste that information elsewhere. Select the order, then click on the Copy button to copy the text in the order. A message will pop up telling you how many characters were copied. This is the equivalent to using the copy feature in a Word document. This will allow you to paste the text into any other document you wish. in Barnestorm or any other program that allows you to paste text. Click on the OK button. The Delete button will allow you to select the order to delete as needed. What you will do is delete the order from the right side and move it back to the pending side. And it will ask you if you're sure you want to delete the order, and you click yes. And now it will appear on the left side. A couple of examples of when to use this is if you create an order on the wrong patient and you need to delete the order. Or if you have created an FYI order and you need to edit the text, you'll need to delete it from the right side and edit it from the pending order. You have another feature over here at the bottom left of the screen. The applies to visit starting date will allow you to attach orders to a specific episode or billing cycle if the order is being entered early or late. Orders that are being entered at the end of the certification period that will apply to the visit starting in the next cert period is one example. Orders entered late due to a chart review can be applied to a previous order chart. This feature will allow billing to be held for the period it was applied to. This works for payers that require all orders to be signed and dated back from the doctor before billing can be done. Let's create another lab order that needs drawn every week. Verify that your date of the order is correct and the doctor who ordered the lab is listed here at the top. This time we're going to click on the type drop-down list and select the lab category. Now enter your lab order. Once all the information is typed in, you can select the Save Pending Order button and save it. You'll notice it shows up at the bottom left corner of the screen. Let's create one more order before we continue. We're going to leave the order date and the doctor the same, then select Supplies from the Type drop-down list. We will need to enter venipuncture supplies for the labs that the nurse may be drawing. Click on the Save as Pending Order button. Now you have the choice to create a verbal order that needs signed by the doctor or an FYI order that only needs signed by the clinician. For training purposes, let's make this an FYI order. Since we entered two pending orders that are assigned to the same nurse and the same doctor, and both are going to be an FYI order, we're going to select both of them from the list. Then click on the Create Verbal Order FYI button. This will combine the two pending orders into one. This process will work for the Create Order, Create Verbal Order FYI, and No Verbal Order Needed. This is a great process to create orders that need to be sent to the doctor to sign. It will combine orders so that the doctor does not need to sign multiples. You can see both of the pending orders in this one preview. Here's one and here's the other. The doctor and employee both must be the same on all pending orders you select. Otherwise, an error message will appear letting you know they are different. Go ahead and close out this order. We're going to switch to an assessment for this patient real quick to show you what the labs and the supply screen looks like. So now we're on the lab screen of the assessment. Select the Orders and Comments tab on the screen. The lab that we entered on the FYI order shows up here. Current lab order is just a reminder that there are labs due. If you want this information to show up on the printed assessment, you will need to click the Copy Order Text to Comment button. Now when you preview the assessment, the labs will show up. Let's look at the supply screen next. Click on the 485 Box 14 tab. You will see the supplies at the bottom here. In order to add the text to the assessment preview, you will click on the box Copy to Box 14, and then up here at the top you must check the box Check to print on the note. Now we'll preview the assessment to show you what it looks like. And you can see here that your information is listed. We're going to go back over to the order screen and look at another example. Select the type drop-down list and click on Post-Hospital Recert Orders. This type will insert the most recent information on the patient, including ICD history, medication, and orders and goals from the 45 or assessment. The information pulled in based on the number of days entered to look back. The default number is 21. You can change it as needed. We'll click on Create Recert Order. There's a place at the top that will list the next episode dates for you automatically. There's also a place to handwrite the date this order will be faxed to the doctor. We have current ICD codes and medications, ICD codes, medications, and we have a place to type in discipline frequencies. So let's go ahead and type in some frequencies. You can delete the disciplines that we're not going to be using. Anytime text is inserted into the orders, it can be modified as needed. And here, the order and goals information at the bottom. Orders and goals. Now click on Save as Pending Order. Select it from the bottom of the screen and we'll change it to an FYI order. And here is our FYI order for the recert. For additional instructions on how to create a verbal order in point of care, click on the Help button located on the main menu at the bottom, and then click on Orders on the Help page. This will give you a list of articles with how-to instructions for the order screen. Click on the article you want to see instructions for. And when you're done viewing the instructions, you can right-click the order and then select the back button. And this will bring you back to your main list. If you don't see the article you want, you can click on Find More Answers here at the bottom. And you will see more articles on this topic. If you click on an article and scroll down a little bit, you have options on your right. You can email the article, print the article, bookmark the article, and export as a PDF, which will save to your computer. And this concludes Barnestorm training for the task of creating verbal orders in point of care.